The woman took out a bottle of perfume, sprayed it twice on the back of her hand, and then eagerly handed it to the wealthy man. Who could resist such a beautiful woman? The rich man quickly shook her hand in return, unaware that this simple exchange had already provided her with his fingerprint and voice. The two smoothly slipped into his office, expertly locating the hidden safe. Mary carefully peeled off the film on the back of her hand and pressed the wealthy man's fingerprint onto the keypad. Then, John took out a watch and activated the sound, and in the next second, the safe popped open. The target was easily obtained. As they were about to leave, the alarm suddenly blared. The pair immediately quickened their pace, only to encounter the bodyguards at the door. They quickly dealt with several security guards and rushed to escape through the back garden in no time. They were speeding toward the airport. The CIA plane was already waiting for them once the plane was safely airborne. John, intending to relax with a glass of champagne, was informed of another troubling development. Mary was unexpectedly pregnant, but given their status as agents, being parents was clearly not ideal. As Mary was about to voluntarily give up the pregnancy, John solemnly declared that he was willing to raise the child with her. This moved Mary deeply, and she instinctively moved closer to John. Suddenly, a wave of nausea hit her, and she rushed to the bathroom only to find the door wouldn't open. The flight attendant explained that the restroom was malfunctioning, but Mary immediately sensed something was off. She didn't show it, though. Instead, she quietly turned around and whispered to John that the bathroom was out of order. Before John could respond, the flight attendant took action, demanding that John hand over the black box. To protect Mary, John threw the black box out of sight. As the flight attendant was distracted, Mary quickly grabbed the guns of the enemy men. Seeing more enemies approaching, Mary skillfully raised her pistol and ejected the live round. She smashed the guns, but against the enemies. Meanwhile, John was desperately fighting off attackers, taking down several. But just as they engaged in close combat to protect the plane, one of the assassins picked up the gun, loaded the bullets into it, and aimed at Mary. The shot hit the pilot's head, causing the plane to lose control immediately. Unaware of the consequences, the assassin proudly picked up the black box. The plane careened out of control, crashing into the mountaintop, then began to plummet rapidly inside the cabin. Chaos ensued. John quickly cleared the remaining obstacles, and as he and Mary looked out the window, they saw the plane hurtling toward the ground, with a massive cliff ahead. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the two sprinted toward the back of the plane. But at such speeds, jumping wouldn't guarantee survival. In a desperate move, John found the parachute and immediately strapped it onto Mary. He intended for her to escape alone, but as the plane continued its acceleration downward, John hurriedly gave his last words. To his surprise, Mary unleashed her ultimate skill, gripping John tightly around the waist. She then deployed the parachute, and within moments, they stopped descending. 3 seconds later, the plane exploded in a massive fireball. Yet, miraculously, the two were unharmed, floating in midair. Thanks to Mary's expert skydiving skills, she landed safely on a mountain peak. It was hard to believe they had just escaped death. Having gone through such a close call, their bond had only deepened. On their way down the mountain, John suggested that with the baby on the way, and the authorities believing they were both dead, it might be the perfect time to disappear. They could live a quiet, ordinary life. With a shared sense of resolve, they both agreed, but the most pressing matter now was figuring out how to leave this place.